What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And, of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight on the Famliest of Fridays.
Hell yeah, you know it.
Shout out to everybody here. It's been a little while since we had a Fan Friday, so it's nice to be here. Appreciate everybody here chilling with us. Take a second to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at My Cowboys Family, and, of course, hop in the Discord link for that's in the description box down below.
That's right, family. We're back at it. Hey, finally back to a Fan Friday here. So we're going to do those special shout-outs as we do on the Fridays. But on top of that, we got a lot of news, info, and updates to discuss, specifically about that guy in the middle of your screen, the owner of the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, the GM of the Cowboys, Jerry Jones. He spoke today, and he touched on a lot of different things, including the three guys you see on the screen, the money on the ground. Yeah, all of that. We'll discuss that and more tonight on My Cowboys Family. You see it in the top right? You see the scouting combine. That's some info there as well today about some possible new Cowboys coming to the team from a new set of positions. On that, baby, let's get it rolling and get the shout-outs going when it comes to those that represent our boards, the top boards here, like the sponsor of the week, the man, much love, to McLovin in the house.
Thank you so much, McLovin. Appreciate you so much. Back-to-back as our sponsor of the week, like and back-to-back-to-back.
Yeah,
on the Cash App King.
Right there up top. You see him, McLovin, three-peating as the king of the Cash App. And just so we can stay on these two kind of board placements of who's leading it this week, right now for the sponsor of the week, the overall leader is McLovin. And, of course, he's also the Cash App leader. He's going through that PayPal, dropping them. We'll discuss that in a minute. So McLovin is on the path to 4 in a row in the Cash App and a 3-peat in the sponsor of the week. But there's some people right on his tail. So keep watching that. I'm gonna shout some people out here in a minute. Much love to Dwayne Broussard with 71 points on the stream boss, the top dog. Appreciate you, Dwayne Broussard, who, by the way, had a in-stream drop, the first drop of the night, a $4 holler and a GO Cowboys. You know how he does.
Thank you so much, Dwayne. I appreciate you, of course, as always.
Yes, and then the gifting membership, like the membership gifting champion, the man staying skeptical fan. He's the man there. He won it in a heated battle. It took about 2.5 weeks, and he took it. Much love to the man, skeptical fan. But he's also the leader this week, trying to go back to back, also like our '90s Cowboys, like a lot of people on these boards. So much love to Mr. Skeptical fan again. And just a quick note, a quick read down here on some people that did do some pre-stream drops and overnight drops, or whatever we're going to call them. Last night, after dark drops. Let me give a couple shout-outs here real quick, guys. First, pre-stream. Yeah, Jason Renfro dropping a $1.94 holler. Much love to him. Go Cowboys from the man, Jason Renfro. And then you had some membership stuff as well here, which Jason Renfro also in there when it comes to that star level membership. Mr. A. Lavelle in the silver level. Gerald Swain in the navy blue crew, along with the wife, of course. And then we had some after dark drops. We had SCO971, who's right up in the top of the board there with Seabass and the others. I think in the top 3-4 of the board right now. So SCO971 in the after dark side of things, he's dropped them love in there. So did Smokey, Smoke Dog, JR. You know who he is. He dropped a little love yesterday as well. And, man, Deadpool. Much love to Deadpool. Not Deadpool, I'm sorry. Deadfool. Not Deadpool. Deadfool, who is in second place right now.
That's right.
When it comes to the overall board, literally right there alongside the current leader, which is McLovin. So, again, guys, a lot of love. You guys appreciate your support, and we keep this thing rolling here on the Nightly. We've got some big-time info, I think, today. Interesting insight and info on Jerry Jones. And his thoughts are, on a lot of different things, paternity test as well. But anyways, guys, appreciate you guys on all these levels. We're going to do the shout-outs on Fan Friday. But first, a lot of ways to drop the love. You see Dwayne Broussard with the super chat. You see, Kat. You see the thanks button. You see memberships jumping into that, whether it's being gifted or Jason A. Lavelle, Gerald Swain, all these people back in the membership side of things. So appreciate all you guys on that side of things. But we also got the Cash App side, which includes 4 different ways of dropping the love.
The Cash App money sign My Cowboys Family. The VENMO at My-Cowboys-Family. The regular PayPal link and the Streamlabs link lets your comment show up on screen just like a super chat.
That's the way to challenge Mr. McLovin there for the top spot. And by the way, we're going to shout everybody out in the star and over everything levels. You know, it's the monthly jersey raffle that's happening on Sunday night right here in My Cowboys Family live in full effect. Good luck to everybody in the star and over everything levels, which we shout out every day. But tonight we shout out the silver level too, because it's Fan Friday. You know how we do.
Yes. Before we do that, though,
okay, all right,
we have to take a second because we have some representation here. Mr. A. Lavelle just dropped some Sean Lee $50 holler in the chat. Thank you so much, Mr. A. Lavelle. Appreciate you. And you know what he had to say, and it's going to come on your screen here.
Please tell me, what did the man say, Mr. Lavelle? Appreciate him. Truly, him and his family, great people. I hope everything is going well on his side. Hit it, baby.
What's up, MCF and MCW? What's good to everyone in the chat? Hope everyone is safe and healthy. Haven't dropped a 50 bomb in a while, LOL. Gotta show some love.
Woo, there it is.
Forget the Joneses. Remember, we are all we got and we are all we need. Let's go Cowboys, baby.
Hell yeah, brother. Appreciate you, Mr. Lavelle, once again. With, is that the tied for the biggest drop of... I think, no, we did have a $100 from Zach Luna. So, second biggest drop that we've had here on My Cowboys Family this year, 2024. And much love to you, Mr. A. Lavelle and family. And by the way, he's back in, that silver level, like I was saying. So, he's going to leap up this board right above Seabass and SCO 971. So, we'll get that fixed in a minute. I'll rearrange the board. And much appreciation, Mr. Lavelle, who, by the way, where's that board at right now? 21 points for Mr. Dwayne Broussard, the top dog, who's hanging on with I guess you could say Stephon Gilmore. Stephon Gilmore for a couple of weeks. Running back.
21?
Oh, well, that's Zeke. Yeah, but that's Gilmore. It's cornerback, I think. So the last guy wearing 21 at least. We'll see who wears it this year. If he comes back or not, I don't know. But I do know we got some fantastic star level and over everything level and silver level family members to shout out tonight on Fan Friday.
Thank you very much, too. Prince Jackson, of course, Mr. A. Lavelle, who, by the way, is the longest-running MCF member here. Mary Alvarez, Skeptical Fan, Dwayne Broussard, The Lunatic, Marissa Sparkle, Andy Potched, Jason Renfro, LC, and over everything, Seabass.
Seabass in the house, kicking ass. Appreciate all you guys again for the membership love and the perks that hopefully you guys get to enjoy and get some victories and wins up there. And make sure I hit the likes here and the big hearts for the Mr. A. Lavelle drop and everybody else on all levels of the membership. So again, guys, thank you again. We keep rolling on here tonight. And like I said, tomorrow, Sunday, we'll be having this monthly jersey raffle for the month of February. A little side note, our weekly winners here, guys, some of the weekly winners are going to be put into this monthly star and over everything level membership raffle. So keep that in mind. Now we're going to have new ways to kind of get into these monthly raffles. And if you're the sponsor of the week, you guarantee yourself a raffle entry, so to speak. Right? So yes, that's that. I just wanted to double down on that. Make sure everyone is up on that because that's a little change, but that's not happening for this February raffle.
Yes, we're moving forward after that point.
At the end of March, when we do our next one for the month of March, that's how we're going to roll with it. Everybody who've won the next 4 weeks is going to be in that raffle. Just letting you know.
With that said, let me go ahead and do the shout-outs here in the chat.
Let's go.
I have to kick it off with Jason Renfro, who, by the way, also dropped a $1 holler in the classic Go Cowboys here in the chat. Yeah. Thank you, Jason.
You mean Go Cowboy.
Much love. Shout-out as well to Clark motherfucking Kent. And there's Jason's drop. Dustin Roberts, much love to you. Rolando Rodriguez, representing from South Texas. Chris Plumage, what's up? Chris Davis, hello and hi. Seabass, thanks for rolling with us. And yes, guys, make sure to stay tuned because I think Seabass is going to have a lot to say about our Cowboys coming up very soon here.
That's right.
Lil Dallas Cowboy, what's up? Jason Renfro.
Got a little shaking there. Man,
showing the love and sharing the love. Chris Plumage, the lucky, gifted winner there.
Much love. Congrats to Mr. Chris Plumage, but big shout outs to Mr. Jason Renfro, repping that navy blue, silver, and star over everything.
So as I keep rolling here with the shout outs, like I said, I think Seabass, even you, Leaside Herald, Lil Dallas Cowboy, of course, Mr. A. Lavelle, shout out to you.
Yeah.
Scorpio, much love. Dwayne Broussard, the top dog himself. Kelvin Hicks, hello and hi. Yeah, the season's already shaping up to be something. Eric Wallace, what's up? Much love. Thanks for rolling with us.
I don't know if that was good or bad.
Like I said,
something.
Thomas, Garrett, the Superior.
Hell yeah.
Garrett, what's up? Much love. Of course, Jason Renfro. I think I shouted you out, but just in case once more. Let me kind of roll back down here. Bert Barr representing much love. By the way, I think our little robot friend is back. So, Bobby Garrett, what's up? And hey, have to take a second here as well. The little Nightbot.
Oh, yeah,
that's what I call him. But Hannibal King 47. Shout out to you with a $2 holler.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look there.
Representing here on this Spin Friday, saying, "What's up, fam?"
Much love to
Hannibal
Cowboys.
King. Thank you, Hannibal King. Hopefully, only good things. Honestly, got a little bit taken by surprise when Jerry spoke today. Only because, well, like I said, we weren't necessarily expecting him to speak today. But boy, said some very, very interesting things. And that's going to be the bulk of the Cowboy discussion when we get to it here in a little bit. But
he was in his RV. Yeah, he was in his RV again.
There's some other Cowboy adjacent and Cowboy directly related stuff that we have to get on first before we dive into some of the Jerry Land comments. So, with that said, guys, we're going to get to it in just a second. But give us a second here as Mr. MCF obviously tries to keep up as you guys are kicking things off here with a bang, because I see, if I'm not mistaken, a $2 holler. Sorry, a $5 holler.
No,
from Dustin Roberts that maybe blocked out the other $2 holler.
I think I see. Okay, so I see Scorpio, Jason Renfro, and Dustin Roberts. We had a bang, bang, bang right there after Hannibal King.
Oh, you said it, not me. So I'll start from.
Wait, what?
I'll start from the.
Yeah. So,
I feel like now everything I say is going to sound weird. But
and
anyway.
Scorpios, Jason Renfro, and Dustin. What do they all say?
Scorpio said, "Go Cowboys."
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cheer.
Sorry, you say it the proper way.
I don't say that way. It's been mastered by Smokey, but yeah, it's cheer. All right, go ahead.
Anyway, thank you, Scorpio.
Much love, Scorpio.
I hope I did it justice there with the $2 holler.
We'll work on it.
Jason Renfro with the $3.60 holler. Hey, he's got a 360 view on our Go Cowboys.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, Jason. Much love. And Dustin Roberts with his own $5 holler. He said, "We need to move differently this offseason because we ain't done shit doing it Stephen Jones' way. Go Cowboys."
I cannot agree more with that. So, yeah. 100%. 100%.
So
I'm up in the board.
Okay, no, I thought you were going to say something else. I didn't want to interrupt you. So, but yeah, like I said, when we first heard the commentary of All In, we kept saying it by whose definition?
Yeah, let's see.
And when we heard Steven's definition, we were like, oh,
Wakala.
Now, today, we kind of get to hear at least a little bit more of what Jerry considers All In.
What does he mean by fucking All In?
I guess now we get to put it all together and see what we're in store for. And at the same time, it has yet to come to pass, so you never know. But, as the years have gone by here at MCF, My Cowboys Family, you guys know that we've gotten relatively good with, like, I'd say an 80 to 85% accuracy rate of kind of at least figuring out some of the moves that the Cowboys want to make.
The way they roll, right?
So, exactly. You get to know your team after a few years, right? So, obviously, we've been around for more than just a few years. So, just throwing that out there that it is not surprising, but unfortunate. And like I said, I knew full well that I was being delusional when I heard some of those comments and took them the way that I wanted to take them, because I admit that's just what I wanted to hear.
Yeah,
but at least I knew it.
You recognized it.
Exactly. So, with that said, though, we are going to hear not necessarily what we want to hear, but what was said, right? So, as Mr. MCF finishes updating the board here, sorry, hopefully, baby. I know you're good.
Tell him a minute. Just hit up a comment.
James Herr, what's up? Burn Bar in the house. So, yeah, where the boys at? Hey, I know where the Cowboys are at. So, Bobby Garrett saying, "Jerry, you are the father." And I do think he actually had a short little comment on his
he did.
Paternity
he spoke.
situation.
He was asked about it. He had to say something.
So, and Bar not late again, right on time here, and just kicking off, obviously. So, let me see here. Rolando Rodriguez said, "The pie is a lie. Jerry and Catboy Steve, just pay CD, Dak, and Micah. Stop fucking around and go Cowboys." So,
yeah. For some reason, our machine here, Alexa just fucking answered that question.
I'm glad you called it by that name and not the actual name.
I did it on purpose. Yeah, I'm on top of it.
Let me see. Oh, rolling back here. No, we kind of, the problem is that as I did the shout outs, I hit up the comments.
Exactly. That's all right. I'm done here, basically.
Not going to be a broken record and repeat everything. Yes, our little, our own in-house robot just spoke. So there you go, guys. Actually, should I tell it to tell a football joke?
No, you won't be able to hear it.
I know, it's so...
So, okay, I got it under control. The board is now updated. That Dwayne Broussard StreamYard, I'm sorry, the Stream Boss would have been a lot lower. It wasn't boxed out there by, Justin Robertson boxed out Jason Ram from Scorpio, but still at 16, still viable. Now, much love to everybody on a Friday, late night Friday here, and appreciate you all for joining us. After we're gonna be taking tomorrow is gonna be an off day here unless some major news hits, and we will still do something. But we're gonna be rolling today with the majority of the news. So sit back, relax, on a nice Fan Friday, a filled Fan Friday. NFL news. We're gonna start a little sad here. To me, it's sad. Britt Reed, the son of Chiefs head coach. Remember he got into a car accident and hurt a little girl some years back, drunk driving in Kansas City, leaving the facility. Missouri Governor Mike Parson has commuted his sentence for Britt Reed, the son of Chiefs head coach Andy Reid. He was sentenced to 3 years in the Missouri Department of Corrections after he was convicted of a DUI crash February 4th, 2021.
Which alone was barely enough.
Yeah, exactly. That's not even good, but it hurt. Severely injured 5-year-old Ariel Young. The former coach pleaded guilty in September 2022, driving while intoxicated, causing bodily injury. And now he's going to be now after this commuting of his sentence, he will be under house arrest until October 31st, 2025. He will still have strict conditions of probation, including weekly meetings with a parole officer, behavioral counseling, weekly meetings with peer support sponsors, and community service, employment requirements. The governor's office kind of stated those things are going to be still held to account for him. But listen, 5 family members were injured in this crash. He was drunk driving. Ariel, a little girl, received the most attention because her injuries were extensive. Felicia Miller, her mother, said before Britt Brown took that plea deal a year and a half ago, she believes he should have faced the maximum sentence. I agree. He faced up to 4 years in prison as part of that plea deal. He got out early now.
Yeah.
And the girl's mother said that Ariel did not wake up for 2 weeks after, in a coma after that crash, had to learn how to walk and talk and eat again. And she cried in her wheelchair a lot, so her mother would carry her, the 5-year-old child, around like a newborn just to stop her from crying. So just some things there, when you're I guess your coach's son, and you get a little easier sentences, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, sad there. Jason Renfro, appreciate him once again with that dollar holler, that dollar drop. And he's slowly and surely moving up this board we call the leaderboard here in MCF. Appreciate you. And I go Cowboys from Jason Renfro. Now, we also had, of course, that fight incident with Cam Newton, with the it was like the 15-year-old league and the 18-year-old league. Yeah, it was a fight. There was like 3 guys on Cam Newton. He kind of threw guys around, but he said there was no excuse for him in that scuffle in Atlanta. Cam Newton apologized for his role in that 7-on-7 youth football tournament fight. He said, quote, "There's no excuse." He said that this incident, he spoke about it on an episode of his YouTube show, 4th and 1. He said that, quote, "I let my emotions get the best of me. It shouldn't have been called for, simple and plain. And with that, I apologize to anybody affected." And he said, he named the event organizers, players, parents, among those that he was issuing the apology to. He said, "I can't sit up there and say, hey, bro, you got to be bigger than that. And then all of a sudden I go do that. And that just goes to show you've always got to stay in control of your emotions," he said. So Cam Newton at least realizing that.
I mean, look, I have to be real. I'm not even like the biggest like Cam Newton fan or anything like that, but
he was jumped by 3 guys.
I was gonna say, like, 3 people come at me, I'm not just gonna sit there and be a fucking pacifist, okay? Sorry. I don't know. I really don't understand. Like, I understand why he issued the apology. I don't understand why they're making him feel like he has to like grovel in that way. Like,
yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I mean, he defending himself. I mean, I'm fighting too. 3 people jump me, it's on, and I don't care where we're at. To be honest with you, I'm defending myself.
Steve Bass, that cracks me up. Yeah, not sure. Sometimes YouTube like auto blocks the weirdest things because we don't really have any. Yeah. The only thing we have blocked, as far as like words you can't say on here, are like obvious racial slurs.
Yeah, racial stuff.
And even some of those still slip by you.
People can
YouTube
slip them by.
Censor, unfortunately.
But some of them have just general YouTube censors that take out certain things. Sometimes you have to go to the all messages part of your chat above instead of the top messages. So that's a way of making sure you see all the messages.
Oh, Jared Jones said, "Money can't buy you happiness, but it will get you a damn good lawyer."
Unfortunately, yeah.
That it can do.
And being, what's his name's son, Reed's son, helps out a lot. Oh, speaking of helping out, I see a big gift on my screen because there's been one gifted membership from Jason Renfro.
Woo!
And we're seeing what's going to drop to in a minute, which, by the way, reminds me, I got to put Jason.
There it is.
I got to put Jason on that board when it comes to that gifting stuff, because Mr. Skeptical Fan is in first place with 4, but now Jason Renfro is in second place with 2.
Thank you so much,
Who was the lucky
Jason.
winner?
Burn Bar.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you, Burn Bar. Shout out to you, of course, for, chilling here, being here.
Always been
Congrats.
part of the family.
And Jason Renfro, thank you, of course, for showing the love, sharing the love, and gifting that membership there. Dwayne Broussard, by the way, I think he's repping those 15 points from his earlier dollar holler there by Jason Renfro. I think I forgot to mention that specifically.
Yeah, drop one because of the dollar drop.
Yes.
There.
So.
He's still 15.
Oh, sorry. The chat's cracking me up, but for unrelated reasons to what we're talking about. So I don't want to distract. I want to focus here on the football because the Cowboy Jerry Jones stuff I really want to get to.
Yeah, the wife's got all the info on that. So NFL stuff, kind of NFC East, actually.
Yeah.
The Commanders, they went crazy releasing guys today. They're releasing tight end Logan Thomas. He's been injured most of his time there. He was due $6.5 million this upcoming season, including a $5,000 roster bonus later this month. They just said, peace out, see you later. He's 32 years old, 55 catches last year for only 496 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's all he did last year. But that was his highest output in all these 3 categories, catches, yards, and touchdowns since 2020. So his time has passed. He had a couple good years. Injuries really slowed him down, and being on the Washington Commanders slowed him down too. The Commanders have informed another guy that he's gone, left tackle. Their starting left tackle, Charles Leno, who formerly of the Bears and never really was, I didn't see him as being very good. They finally let him go. So that one I don't see being a bad move there for them. Again, he was scheduled for hip surgery next week, so instead of paying any kind of bonuses or whatever connected to his contract, they're like, peace out, see you later. Commanders also informed Nick Gates, who's a center guard kind of guy there for the Washington, signed a 3-year deal with them a year ago. Going to release him at the start of the new league year, which is going to be, again, I think March 13th, mid-March. Gates is still due about $2 million, $1.99 million guaranteed for this season, so they got to pay that no matter what, Washington. That's guaranteed, but he's off the team as well. So they're letting go their left tackle, letting go their center, letting go their tight end. They're redoing that entire offense per Dan Quinn, I guess, right? That's Washington. Let's go move on to the Giants. Darren Waller, who kind of initially spread the word that he was considering retiring from the Giants after this past season, now is officially planning to return. Giants are welcoming him back, ending the speculation about him being a cap casualty. Initially, it sounded like Darren Waller was going to be, it sounded like he was definitely extremely frustrated last year by this hamstring issue that kept nagging at him all year long, but he's looking now forward to the 2024 season, so we'll be seeing him twice, Darren Waller and the Giants. The Eagles, finally, by the way, are releasing safety Kevin Byard, who didn't do really enough for them as they thought they were going to get from him, I think. So that's good to see, the Eagles failing once again. But Kevin Byard, a really good safety, I guess maybe misused in Philly. I don't know, mishandled.
Any kind of miss by the Eagles is a good thing for us.
Yeah, but he's out there now, a free agent. He's been released. The Eagles acquired Byard, remember, from the Tennessee Titans last October in exchange for a 5th-round pick and a 6th-round pick this year. So they lost 2 picks for him for half a year. It did not help them to get over the hump. And, I think they... What is it? What was it? Terrell Edmonds was also a safety that another safety that had drafted as well.
Yeah.
In there. So again, that is their situation for the Eagles. Now, before we get deep into the Cowboys, let's touch on Jason Renfro dropping a $3.60 holla in the house. Much love. What did the man say?
Jason, thank you. He said, "Go Cowboys." Thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate you, of course.
I think you meant...
Woo! Thank you so much. So, by the way, sorry, again, you guys are cracking me up here. Jared Jones said, let me roll it back. Drums and Cowboys said, there's a few teams, including our division rivals, that are way under the cap and ready for free agency, but us, we don't even have plans to talk to our quarterback.
Well...
but we're all in. Remember, right?
Well, this is the season.
So, McLovin, what's up, much love? He said, I've noticed MCW runs this ship Have a great stream. So
thank you, brother.
Look, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I appreciate it. Listen, number one, McLovin. I know Smokey Jr. He says it too. Yeah, she is the best part of the stream. Do not deny that at all. I talk my football, and people don't care. But when a wife speaks, everyone listens. That's all I know. So I agree. Thank you. That is our sponsor of the week, by the way, and the Cash App King, and the guy currently in the lead on both boards. Although I will say, after Dead Fool yesterday's drops in the After Dark sessions, definitely changed a lot of things there. He's right on the tail of Mr. McLovin there on the overall board and the Cash App board because he went through PayPal. And that's the After Dark way of doing it, I guess. Again, thank you all again, everybody in the house, and extra special love to McLovin, the man McLovin, who's repping this board for almost a full month across the board here. So thank you. Now, let me get rolling into, by the way, that's 11 points also for Dwayne Broussard, the top dog on the stream, bossy. Almost made me go without that. Let me talk about a guy maybe you didn't expect me to talk about when it comes to our coaching staff and rule changes when it comes to the competition committee. Check out Mr. John Fossil Bones. He is kind of helping pioneer this new NFL kickoff rule that's going to change, whether it's next year or the year after that.
Okay.
The XFL style rule change. Remember, it was no real push for it. Then after the competition committee met earlier this week, they're like, yeah, we don't know. It might happen. What happened? Like, what changed things? John Fossil's a big part of this.
Interesting.
Let me explain.
I didn't realize he had that kind of influence, I guess.
Fossil believed that, once he watched the Kansas City game, the Super Bowl, Kansas City win in overtime against the Chiefs, he felt like we were witnessing the death of the kickoff, as the NFL knows it right now. He said, quote, it was 13 out of 13 touchbacks. I was like, well, that's the end of this. Something's got to happen now. I already knew of it, but when it's on that big of a stage, it was literally 13 out of 13 touchbacks. 12 out of 13 kicks went out of the end zone. So it wasn't even a returnable chance. Even if you were 9 yards deep, it was like, okay, that's the last straw right there. So,
all right. I mean, that's kind of a pretty valid point.
So last Sunday, 2 weeks after the Super Bowl, John Fossil was one of the 3 special teams coordinators who was selected to meet with the NFL's competition committee in Indianapolis. Now, this week, like I said, on Monday, to discuss this dead kind of kickoff, trying to revitalize it, right? He met with officiating leaders on Friday morning, and then Fossil emerged as the leading voice in how the kickoffs will be reimagined. Now, we discussed about the rule change, and we know it's XFL style, but how did he prove it to them? Again, several people involved in these talks said that it's the complete overhaul of the play is considered, but not inevitable for the 2024 season. So it's not going to happen this year probably, but changes are expected to be finalized later this month, and a 1-year trial period probably is going to happen sometime soon when the owners assemble in Orlando, Florida for the league's annual meeting. Again, that's in a couple of weeks. The new play, kickoff play, draws inspiration from the XFL to turn this basic play into possibly one of the most exciting situations trying to improve player safety on a per-play basis. So Roger Goodell told the Dallas Morning News that John Fossil made, quote, a very good presentation last Sunday, end quote, when he was talking through about the film cut-ups that he was showing everybody and how the XFL's kickoff functioned with a modification that he's putting in, which, again, could be working better in the NFL. So NFL officials, fellow coordinators, like special teams coordinators, heard Fossil kind of bang the drum the last 2 years on the NFL, modeling their kickoffs and the design of the kickoffs like the XFL. He studied every kickoff from 2022 and 2023 in the XFL season, in the XFL league, but both seasons. He began watching and charting all 400 kickoffs from 2023 last year as a personal project on his own. He just did it, which was completed this offseason, and basically doing all this work throughout these last 2 years strengthened his authority on the nuances of the kickoff play. So you understand why he's leading the campaign here. He's knee-deep in this. He's studying this. The conversation continues tomorrow, Saturday afternoon, to schedule a 2-hour meeting with the competition committee, where every special teams coordinator is currently at the combine, is expected to meet here for this meeting and help finalize a proposal for how the new kickoff rule is going to look. And Fossil not the only one who gave them video examples. He shared clips. I mean, he didn't just give video examples of the XFL. He gave video examples of the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay. He
shared clips of the Cowboys players executing the XFL kickoff during the practices last spring. While knowing the drill could help honed player technique, Fossil knew that obtaining video footage of current NFL players doing this XFL kickoff could one day advance the discussions that are happening right now for this change of the kickoff. So he's predicting that the NFL's adaptation of the XFL kickoff will have a trickle-down effect to the college and high school ranks and levels. So before last Sunday, when he presented this on Monday, he hadn't attended a competition committee meeting. And the think tank group of active NFL coaches and executives responsible, one of them being Stephen Jones, for recommending rule changes and how the game operates and regulated is being discussed this week. Like I said, Stephen Jones, vice president of the Cowboys, is one of the guys in the room, and he's one of the guys that kind of did the changes in that tuck rule and what constitutes a catch and that kind of stuff. So history is made. The changing of the game is made in that room. So is the future of football. So John Fossil, if this new kickoff, is adopted into the NFL, as it is currently now all of a sudden expected. It was not expected until Fossil brought the stats, the video, and all the facts of the situation, right? So now it looks like Fossil will be part of both these kings.
It's pretty awesome that he has that kind of respect to be able to say, hey, like, consider this. And people at least stop to listen. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't necessarily have to choose to act on it or not, but they at least stopped to listen.
They wanted him.
Because it was presented that way. I know they'd wanted him, but let's be real. Lots of things are wanted in the NFL. How many things actually get done? And, the fact that he was able to present it with such a strong argument, like, think of it with the first thing he said. He's like, I was watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And 13 out of 13? Really?
Yeah,
like not a single anything happened on special teams. Like, even the owners have to admit that when it comes to the biggest stage, like, you do want to see a little bit more. And that just encapsulates how freaking boring that whole situation has gotten. So find a way to balance it between not just getting guys hurt willy-nilly, and bam. I think this is a great solution. Makes everyone happy. Keeps things exciting. Right?
I think it's...
Scorpio said it. Bones is ahead of the curve. So, Bass. Yeah, Jerry Jones is definitely just living his best life. But Jerry Jones is probably maybe living his best and worst life. Based on some of those comments.
I got to say something right now, because, one of the world-famous trolls in the Cowboy fan base, Eastside Harold, said, let me drop a $3 holler in here. He said the Cowboys will dominate the draft again. Thank you.
I'm not surprised that you think so.
His team is Houston,
you're here so often to
said,
talk about real football. You would know your way around, wouldn't you?
Shout him out, Mr. Eastside Harold. I'll put him on the board in a minute as he hit up another comment or two, baby.
No, of course. By the way, Jared Jones said, I'm going to have Maury Povich announce the DNA results on the Dallas Cowboys show. So
that's coming soon. Yeah, we'll do it. We should do it here.
So, and hopefully, Bobby Garrett, you can keep some of those thoughts. I know we have one or two little things to mention as far as
we're gonna hit
the
up
draft and free agency in general too. But he said, I believe Harrison Smith will be one of our safeties in 24.
He would have to be. Would he be traded for? I'm not sure if he's a free agent or not, but him or Michael Kendricks. I think he's is his name Michael? He's from the Chargers, formerly of the Vikings. I think he'd be a guy you might see come to Dallas as well.
Revelation journalist said, Steven...
It had to be a trade, by the way. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. He said, Steven is now Penn, and Jerry is now Teller of Penn and Teller fame. Well, I mean, if it was up to them, they'd certainly make the cap disappear, at least.
Yeah, it's unfortunately that Penn and Teller are magicians, not clowns. We got the clowns, unfortunately.
So, well, they're definitely trying to pull the wool over our eyes, at least.
Listen, Fossil kind of, setting things up for future change and kickoffs. So, just wanted to touch base on that. Kind of interesting little nugget I thought I found there. But let's just kind of turn to the scouting combine. And the reason I say that is before we even get to the scouting combine, like, we know we got to talk about what are we going to do at running back.
Yeah.
And today at scouting combine, receivers and running backs today. Of course, Tony Pollard, free agent. He's not going to be re-signed to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He's one of the many running backs that are out there in free agency at a reasonable price. Adam Schefter, people are saying to me that Derrick Henry was not going to be no $4.5 million, and maybe he will be a little more than that, but they're not going to be much more than that, these running backs. And I'm talking about Saquon Barkley at 27 years old, Josh Jacobs at 26 years old. Derrick Henry at 30 years old. Tony Pollard, 26 years old. Austin Eckler at 28 years old. And DeAndre Swift, only 25 years old. All these guys right here, Adam Schefter said all these running backs he feels will not get the deals that they think they're going to get or desire in free agency.
Unfortunately, I agree.
Due to the number of running backs that are already available. I mean, we talked about a couple guys that are even, maybe a lot cheaper that are also going to be out there getting $2 and $3 million deals. That we can bring in Zach Mosses and and AJ Dillons, and these guys get maybe $3-4 million at most.
All these talented guys are fighting for a slice of the pie that not a single team wants to give them.
They don't want to give a lot of money for a running back. So that's called. We talk about the quarterback market and how things work. Well, the running back market went down. You understand? So a lot of people are like, well, fuck the market. Who cares? You got to win a Super Bowl. And whether that feeling is right or not, it's irrelevant because you're wrong.
You're not going to be the world's first cashier, a McDonald's cashier to make $30 an hour type of thing. You know what I mean? Everybody else is making 10.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that the market for these players at their positions matter. So when you have the market for the quarterback, that's $60 million right now. That's the going rate for any new quarterback signing. In the free agent market. If you're a top franchise quarterback, you're going to get that next level kind of money usually, right? If you're a top quarterback, a top 5-7 quarterback, so you're gonna, that's gonna be the way that runs. And right now, it's not going back down or having issues, but running back side, because of the style of change in the NFL and the way football is kind of being called, a lot of passing on first downs, a lot of combination of running backs instead of just one running back. You don't need the workhorse guy to pay the big money to. It doesn't really work as of right now in the NFL, at least not at this moment. So these names right now, with all the other names in free agency, make these numbers go down for the on top of it already being a market for running backs that has decreased in value. Now they're gonna have other guys that got to fight out there for money, and that's going to be the problem for running back. So that's why I say Derrick Henry or anybody you want out there can be gotten at running back, along with a draft pick if you want. But again, to me, I don't think we have to go high running back when it comes to the draft. The highest running back right now is about a third rounder. That's your top running back. So, early third round, late second round, that would be a waste. It would be a waste to go for a running back early in this draft.
Yeah. With
all the free agent guys around, we're going free agent. We're going all in, supposedly, whatever the Joneses mean by all in. So when you look at that, guys, to me, that is, we got to go free agent running back, and there's a lot of different options out there. So I just wanted to make sure I kind of brought that up. The experts feel like the money's not going to be there for these running backs for a lot of different reasons, and so that's why when you look at
I happen to agree. I happen to agree with them.
Yeah. No, and expand on that, baby. I'm sorry.
I mean, not really much to expand because they kind of mentioned most of it. But yeah, like I said, it is really hard for a lot of these guys to get the type of money that they're looking for when teams already are undervaluing that position. And there's so many of them in a similar spot. The market is flooded, right? Exactly. There's too many of these kind of top tier, cheaper running backs available than there are teams that are open and willing to getting these same guys, right?
I see Titan Anderson.
What's up, Titan Anderson?
Perfect timing. Titan Anderson, he's talking about Henry. That's why I'm saying that the reports are that he's going to be about $4.5 million because everybody's going to be at running back a lot less than they think they're going to get. Like the top running back might get 8. Like Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs might get $7-8 million. So Derrick Henry going to get 5 or less, and Pollard's going to get 5 or 6. I'm saying this is at most for these guys, and that's why it's flooded with a lot of you got a lot of guys that are top, mid, and bottom. That a lot of teams without the demand for running back is really a need to go out there and go get the top of the running back free agent list.
Exactly.
So to me, it's like don't overspend. Grab a guy out there that you can make. Obviously there's a lot of names you can get for cheap right now, and guys that still have a lot of quality running back abilities, obviously, and I think Derrick Henry is one of them. And even if he's one of the older guys out there, when you look at the draft, and you look at the scouting combine, which is kind of where we're going to slide to now, I just wanted to start off with the running back because the running backs were there today, and they were the ones that were front and center at the scouting combine today. So when you look at who the Cowboys were interested, that's all I care about. Who were the Cowboys interested in? I don't know. These are just names right now to me, because I'm not going to do scouting stuff for a player that's going to end up on the fucking Cleveland Browns. I don't give a fuck. So I only care about Cowboy players. And who are the Cowboys interested in? Well, I could give you the list. You guys can absorb this, all right? But it's about the context once again. We talked about this when it came to the defensive side of the ball. Cowboys used 4 formal meetings with the defensive backs and cornerbacks and safeties. 4. That's it. When we had edge rushers 0, but linebackers and nose tackle, defensive tackles, we had 12. So you're seeing where are we heading with this, right? A sprinkle at the cornerback spot and safety spot, but the majority is linebacker and defensive tackle. Now, what about an offense? Because we had tight ends yesterday. The Cowboys in. Look at one. We had a bunch of informal, and we'll give them shit. No formal meetings with them. Today, the running backs and receivers came out. And tell me what you think, baby. Because, again, when it comes to running back, which is what we're talking here, starting off with, the Cowboys had informal meetings with Isaiah Davis from South Dakota State, Jahar Jordan from Louisville, Dylan Laub from New Hampshire, Isaac Guerrero from Louisville, Dejon Edwards from Georgia, Tyron Tracy Jr. from Purdue. That's it. Those are the informal ones. It's kind of just going up to them doing a drill. That's it. But the formal ones, Trey Benson from Florida State, running back Ray Davis from Kentucky, who a lot of people are high on. Keep an eye on him. A formal interview with him. Audric Estime from Notre Dame, another guy people are liking, and Braylon Allen from Wisconsin, formal interview. The Cowboys are prioritizing at running back a day 2, late day 2, early day 3 kind of talent here. Mm-hmm. No Frank Gore Jr., none of these guys. They're not looking that deep into the draft, it seems right now. It seems they're looking at guys that are going to go probably round 3, round 4, which to me is still a little too early, but the Cowboys obviously want to. They think they're looking at value because it's under. I think the running back spot is undervalued right now. They want to grab maybe the best guys out there from the best top groups, which would be basically round 3, round 4. That's when the first running back's coming off the board. The Cowboys want to be part of that. That's what that tells me when you look at running back. So, just kind of painting the picture. I'm trying to paint the picture of the Cowboys' interest right now.
Picture painted.
All right, good. I'm glad it's vibrant. Anyways, that's the Cowboy choice there at running back. What about to pair along and triple along here with CeeDee Lamb? Because the receivers are out there too today. And the receivers, you got wide receiver Bub Means from Pittsburgh, okay, and Jermaine Burton from Alabama. Both these were informal, so don't put much into that. Now the formal interviews: Keon Coleman from Florida State, Troy Franklin from Oregon, Adonai Mitchell from Texas, Javon Baker from UCF, by the way. Yeah. He's also a formal interview. Jalen McMillan from Washington and Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU, all formal. What are these guys? What does this tell me about the receivers? Just on a quick glance, Cowboys are prioritizing a round 2 or round 3, a day 2 wide receiver. So we look at, I would say,
which again pretty much tracks with what we expected.
Yeah, I'm looking at I'm looking at a round 3 receiver and a round 4 running back. That's the feeling I'm getting here from the Cowboys. We're going trenches round 1 and 2, D-line, O-line, and then we're going, maybe linebacker somewhere in there, maybe trade back and add a linebacker with an extra pick in the top 100 or whatever. But
wasn't Tolbert a third-round pick?
Tolbert was a third-rounder, so
I think it kind of tracks.
I also think it could be, we go defense, offensive line, defensive line, and then we go linebacker, and then we can focus on which receiver fell into the 4th round, which running back fell into the 4th round, which receiver fell into the 5th round. So there's a lot of things you can see here because they might go for some back-end guys too in these rounds. But that's just a general gist of things. That's my little draft, NFL scouting, combine, check-in. But I will say a couple other little things came up, not Cowboy-related in this sense, but USC quarterback Caleb Williams, who's going to be looking like the number 1 pick, said that he won't undergo any medical evaluations at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. Instead, he's going to only do medical work with the teams that are interested in him that he visits with before the draft. So he's just focusing on doing those kind of medical evaluations and stuff with the teams that are interested in him. During an NFL Combine medical evaluation today, doctors found the Alabama All-American cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry,
What?
He was a guy mocked to us. Cowboys never looked at him, though. They didn't have an informal or formal meeting with him.
Okay.
Maybe they knew this because they found that he has a fracture in his right foot.
Oh, damn.
Major hit for him, obviously. McKinstry will not work out in Indianapolis now, but he will still do his pro day stuff.
Okay.
That's the hope for him. And then he's going to get it fixed after his pro day.
I mean, at least there's that.
But the word is he still should be 100% before training camp. It's just an added little tweak for him. Probably will drop a little bit from where he was going to be picked at. So just keep that in mind there. So running backs, receivers, injuries, cornerbacks, whatever. We talk about all this stuff. What about our Cowboys? Forget it. Now, at the Combine, there's a lot of word going around. We see a lot of agents for players going around out there, a lot of owners and GMs and, of course, coaches for the Cowboys out there. So we know that there's a lot of run-ins and discussions going on right now with our Cowboys it's not the draft, it's scouting Combine. So with the rookies there, doing drills and doing their thing. So what was going on in the background? There's some word there with the Cowboys, and it comes down to Cowboy officials speaking with the agent of Michael Gallup. That's the word. They spoke Thursday morning, and there's been no decision made on his future. That's according to these quote-unquote officials. I know Jerry Jones will expand on that, but according to these officials in-house there at the Cowboys, no decision on his future has been made, but a source does believe Gallup will have a healthy market for himself if he is released. We shall see, because he's gonna. It's the expectation is that Gallup will be released, and then you have the Cowboys today also announcing they're going to schedule to meet with Tyron Smith's agent at the Combine. So they met today at the Combine. That's the expectation. I'm sure they've met. That's good news for the Cowboys. Why? Because I do think we're going to try to re-sign him, get a team-friendly deal, and we will, have to manage Tyron Smith throughout the season but not having him practice.
Yeah, and I also think that Tyron Smith has a personal desire to, re-sign and stay in Dallas. It's not like he's necessarily trying to entertain other offers, I don't think. That's just speculation based off of, previous history and his own comments.
Agree. No, I agree. And when I also look at Tyron Smith, I think he is going to be. He does not want to move out. He doesn't want to restart himself after basically going to be retiring anyways. Again, he wants to play. We know Tyron Smith wants to play a 14th season, so they're meeting Tyron Smith. The Cowboys meeting Tyron Smith. They met him today at the Combine. Or his agent, I should say, his agents, and both sides coming out of this. The word is both sides felt like they found a practice plan that helped him keep him healthy in the season, and that they believe that this is the best deals for him to stay in Dallas. Both sides. Both sides. So, Stephen Jones talked about trying to pick the best player available at pick 24 specifically in the first round. So locking up Tyron Smith for 1 or 2 years, that would truly allow the Cowboys to kind of focus on best player available, just overall, right?
And it also means that, if/when we do decide to make a move there when it comes to the left side of the offensive line, we can either make that move more carefully, we can invest more highly in it and feel more comfortable with the development of the guy because we won't have to throw him in there right away. So, how much better is it that Tyler Smith
can go left guard or left tackle, right?
Exactly, or at least has, all this experience under his belt before he officially somehow takes it over. It's it's one thing, like, obviously he came in as a pitch hitter, played left tackle that 1 year, but it wasn't like, he officially took it over from there. Like,
right. Well, we weren't sure.
I know, but he went back to, like, his learning situation where he was able to get to the point where he is now. I mean, he's playing better than ever. So my point is that whoever we bring in, it's not like we'll have to just throw them in there all willy-nilly. They'll have the time and the ability to hopefully develop if, now that Tyron Smith is going to be here a little bit longer, maybe.
That's the hope. The hope is I think we'll get a good deal for him, a $7-8 million deal for Tyron Smith. You manage his pain, his practice plan, and we will have him for, if not the whole year, most of the year, if not the whole year, in my opinion. So Tyron Smith, what you can do with this, you keep him healthier. You get the best player available, which can still be an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
It could be a left guard or left tackle because of Tyler Smith. That's what you were saying. So I believe that we can if the best guy is a left guard, get the left guard, because in a year, Tyler Smith's going to pop out left tackle, and we got the left guard ready to roll.
Yep.
We could pick the backup at left tackle or left guard, the future starter, and still have Tyron Smith here to teach the young man. and help this left side of our line just solidify to one of the best in the NFL. So I think that is an option. I think center is an option with Tyler Biadasz. And, that was another little discussion going on there when it came to, the offensive line and some meetings. The Cowboys are meeting. They said they were going to meet with anybody, remember? With agents. But now they're meeting with guys. We just heard about Michael Gallup. They heard about Tyron Smith. Now the Cowboys are meeting with agents at the Combine. But it's still fewer than in the prior years. In prior years of the Combine, the Cowboys have met a lot more agents during that time. Mm-hmm. So I'll say what I'm going to say in a minute. But first, the man, Calvin Richard, with that $10 holler.
Woo, thank you so much, Calvin.
What did the man say?
He said, Tyron Smith wants a championship. He's running out of time. Well, one of the teams that he was heavily rumored to be courting him, if given the opportunity, / when given the opportunity, is the Chiefs. Now, let's be real. They obviously have been able to win championships and be more aggressive the last handful of years than the Cowboys could ever imagine or hope to be.
For sure.
So
that's the thing, though. What's more important to him? Trying to win with the team we have right now, which is still, still a top team. But it's just not championship material, or go with a more sure deal and have to uproot and move. And I think he values staying in Dallas.
I was just about to say, I think that he has shown with the moves that he has made, as far as helping out the team, kind of taking the hit for himself, pretty much any interview he's ever done, everything else, he takes it very seriously, and he wants a championship more than anything. But I think that the loyalty he has to this team, has, at least as of now, has shown, that, he's willing to put certain things aside, if it is for the team. So, and honestly, it sounds like his personal desire to do it with this team is stronger than
moving,
the chance of maybe doing it with another team, but having to deal with the whole going to another team aspect.
It sounds like he'd rather just try to win it here than have a little bit better chance winning it with the Chiefs and uprooting his life, right?
Mm-hmm. So
appreciate you, Calvin. The $10 holler right there. Did he just take over the stream, boss? I don't know.
I don't think he did. I think he's one short.
Wow.
He dropped 10.
That means...
That means that, if I'm not mistaken, Jason Renfro's dollar holler that's coming any second now is going to be the official, stream boss takeover drop there.
Wow.
With his dollar holler and classic Go Cowboys. Thank you so much, Jason.
Just like that, huh?
Just like that. Oh, sorry. I'm waiting for it to happen now, so I'm staring at the board Anyway, is it like a watched pot never boils type of thing? Like a watched stream boss never changes? Oh, anyway. So yeah, Calvin Richards, I agree. He wants a championship. He's running out of time. But that's the point. He needs someone else to kind of do it for him and get him there so he can put his seal of approval and act like he's agreed and okayed every single decision from top down type of thing. Yeah. I don't know. That's all.
By the way, Jason Renfro, when that does hit, he will be just a couple away, 3 or 4 away from jumping into 4th place. Man, Jason went from 17th place tonight all the way up to 7th right now, possibly 4th. With a 5 on it or something. I'm estimating here. I'm not sure exactly, but it's around that. There's a dollar holler. And yes, baby, with that drop, he takes over the stream boss.
There you go.
Jason Renfro. He's officially the boss of the stream right now.
Yes, he is.
Much love to him. Now, as I get back to stuff here, and I want to make sure I do, let me hit that there it is. I want to make sure that I also continue with the fact that even though the Cowboys are meeting with people, with agents, this year the Cowboys are meeting with fewer agents than they ever have in the past. So when it comes to, no sit-downs are planned this week with Dak Prescott's rep. So no Dak Prescott agent discussions during this week of being in Indianapolis for the Combine. And again, we talked about this. The cited reason for this was that they have enough experience dealing with each other already. And they just, it's more, it doesn't really need a check-in.
Yeah.
So both people, this is what people close to the situation have said. But the Cowboys do have several meetings that were lined up today. Like I said, Michael Gallup yesterday.
Yeah.
Tyron Smith today. And guess who else, baby? Tyler Biadasz.
So there you go.
That's an interesting watch.
So they're
right
obviously not like opposed to meeting with agents. They're obviously like,
Very
open
specific,
to
though.
talking. And again, no one said that they had to come to a decision today, but the fact that they haven't even talked, just kind of interesting, right? That's all.
Exactly. Yeah. So
and self-admitted by the Cowboys. It's not like it's like rumors or whatever. Wasn't it Steven who confirmed it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
So even though the Cowboys, I believe, listen, drafting a center in the first round, there's some real good centers in the first and second round. So drafting a center would be great, and that would be an upgrade over Tyler Biadasz. Do the Cowboys try to put resources elsewhere and maybe wait another year for a center and sign Tyler Biadasz back for, a year or two or something like this? I'm hearing 3 years, $21 million, so you're looking at about $7 million a year for a starting center that knows Dak Prescott already, and the offense and the offensive line and the camaraderie there is important. Then a rookie going in, learning, just some things to think about. Cowboys might want to lock up Tyler Biadasz, which I thought is a good idea. If you're not sure, I think we might go that route. And I think that this tells me they want Tyron Smith. They probably wanted to take Michael Gallup's money and just restructure it to nothing, and basically be able to cut him.
True.
Without any.
You can also maybe
but
do
we know that Biadasz is a different situation because we got to sign him or he's gone in free agency. So they're meeting with the guys they want to keep, and that's Tyron Smith and Tyler Biadasz.
I know, but maybe it's a best of both worlds scenario where maybe they just sign him for more than just 1 year, but it's still like a 2-year deal. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Something where they can still maybe manipulate some money, do a few things here or there, but they're not really making a long-term commitment, and it gives them time to make the moves that they want to make.
I agree. We still could go to center, you know what I'm saying, if we really wanted to, and then maybe move.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing's really stopping us from doing whatever we want.
The centers
but at least we have that insurance policy, so we know we're not ending up with basically nothing. It's
a good 1 year kind of bridge if you wanted to get one of the better centers in the draft in the first or second round. By the way, a lot of these centers in the first and second rounds can also play guard. So this is kind of also a future kind of thought that for some reason Tyler Biadasz, you want to keep him, you can still move this guy to guard, and then you have Tyler Smith at left tackle. That could be your future move as well. It's a 2-for-1. The Cowboys love that fucking versatility, 2-for-1 dual shit. So expect something like that. But I do think that Biadasz has a real good chance to stay on this team.
I agree.
Now, any quick thoughts, baby, in the chat about all this stuff? Because now we're going to get to Jerry Jones. Old Jerry. Jerry Jones spoke today. So before I get to that, that's really the finale, and you got all the news and info on this, baby. So what is the chat saying?
Let me see here. We kind of touched on most of them, but Bannon Texas said Jerry Jones does not want Dak Prescott. I mean, hey, we'll have to see. He did talk about it.
He does want him.
So... he's saying that his reasoning is that, Romo never had to beg for a contract, as he went into his final year.
Yeah, I think it's two things on that. It's, Romo lost his job and then, was... I
was going to say, did Romo even make it to that point?
Yeah, just one time for a big contract. But Dak's going to be back for 2, and that's because he was, younger and healthier when it came to that situation. But, it's not... I don't think Dak... Is Dak begging? I don't hear anybody begging for the Dak Prescott side of things.
Yeah.
I think that both sides are just trying to negotiate. That's what it's called. They're really negotiating nothing because you can't really do much with what's already going to be the basics of a deal, which is already kind of set up. So that's they know that we're going to be getting Dak Prescott. It sounds like you could let him play on this $60 million deal and restructure him, but it sounds like the Cowboys, from every single point of view, media reporter, pro or pro Dak or anti Dak, everyone kind of knows on the same page that the Cowboys are going to get Dak Prescott on some kind of an extension. Anyways, Jerry Jones did speak on this today in a major way, and like I said, there was a lot of different topics he touched on. So without further ado, let's bring the big man on here, Jerry Jones. He had a 42-minute conversation in his RV with the media today. Of course, it's parked next to the Indianapolis Stadium there, or the Allegiant Stadium, whatever stadium, not Allegiant, their stadium there, Lucas Ford Oil
Jerry
Field.
Mobile was there.
But Jerry Mobile was there, and he was getting another interview in his, comfy little recliners in there. And he said, quote, "I'm going to be around here for a long time. We got a lot of years ahead of us." All right, Jerry. All right. So
is that sounds more like a curse than a statement.
Well,
sure.
the first part about this is that and I don't know what the order was, but the paternity test situation, guys, which came out yesterday or 2 days ago, that Dallas Cowboy owner, Jerry Jones, must take a paternity test. You know, Jerry had a couple words about this. And he said, quote, those are legal matters, and I can't talk about them right now. That'll work through, and I expect much perceived better news in the future. So it sounds like he don't think he's a dad, but he's a dad. So again, listen, the original lawsuit was brought by his biological daughter, supposedly alleged biological daughter. It was filed in March 2022. Alleges she was conceived in the 90s when her mother, Cynthia Davis, and Jerry Jones had a romantic partnership and relationship. And again, Jones and Cynthia Davis reached a settlement that included that Jerry Jones financially support them, and as long as they've kept quiet about Jerry being the dad, he'll continue paying whatever they needed. And of course, now that's going to end, but she's going to get a bigger payday. You know, when his day comes and he dies, it looks like, you know, if she is proven as he's the father of this girl, then, well, she's a woman, but I'm saying of his daughter, then she will get a piece of that pie.
Yeah, by the way, Chuck to Montana has said, Jerry wants to win. We know that, but Steven doesn't care for it too much. He never won anything possibly ever in his life, and you can tell by his actions.
I agree. That's 100% right there.
Everything he's ever had has just been handed to him. Never actually fought for and earned.
The fact that he doesn't know who fucking...
And he can't buy a Super Bowl.
DeAndre Swift is on draft day when someone's trying to trade you. And even if he didn't know, he didn't tell anybody else that, hey, what about this deal? Let's talk about it. That shows you where his ego and his fucking thought of himself is sky high and way too high. He's definitely too big for his britches. And I don't know. We're not in good hands when Jerry goes. Not that Jerry's doing a great job right now, but we know Stephen Jones is the one in control. And
yeah, I was saying, not that Stephen is somehow all that much better either.
Yeah, not better. He's much worse, Stephen Jones.
Just they each have their pros and their cons, I guess.
So look. I know Jera's in the house.
Okay. You want me to read a comment? He said, I always had a daughter. She's named Stephen Jones.
That's why I wanted it read.
Stephanie Jones.
Now, baby.
Sorry, he made other comments. I wasn't sure if that's the one he meant.
Oh, no. That's the one.
Okay.
Anyways, listen, guys, now I want to let you take over, baby.
Okay.
And, see what you got to say about all the different things that Mr. Jerry Jones today touched on. It was a 42-minute conversation. So we're going to just pick some highlights and go with that. But you got a lot to tell us, so go ahead, baby. Fire away.
Starting off with the disappointment of the end of the season, right? Saying, quote, we had a very disappointing finish. We had a very, really, in my mind, top year before we lost that last football game.
Top year.
We had some great coaching and we had some great playing. We stunk it up in that last football game. You don't throw all the stuff out because of what we did in that last football game. That should be obvious. And that's what we're doing. I'm really selectively picking the good things we've done and being energized about those.
So he's being delusional.
And I'm taking the things we didn't do good and fed up with them. So, again, definitely interesting the way that he
Golly gee, he's fed up with them.
But I guess, whatever helps you get through, right, Jerry? Now, remember, guys, it was at the Senior Bowl when we first heard Jerry use that magical phrase,
oh, no.
All in.
Oh, no. Is that we're talking about the all-in moments here for Mr. Jerry Jones. And, he's been talking about all-in. Is it just some buzzword, which is what we think it is?
Everyone is asking, all-in, what exactly does that mean? Does that mean lots of free agents, heavy draft? Well, at least according to Jerry's comments, all-in definitely does not mean going all-in free agency. He said, we stunk it up in the last football game. You don't throw all the stuff out because of what we did in the last football game. That should be obvious. That's what we're doing. I'm really selectively picking those good things. Oh, wait, sorry. No, that wasn't what I read that one. Sorry. It was, we just have in mind the team that's going on the field this year. And we all know that every team in this league has limitations as far as where they are on the cap and where they are in the draft and where they are with the free agents, who can use the tag, you only have one, and all those kinds of things. But my point is, we can be better. Dak can play better than he has, maybe. We could argue one of the best years he's ever had in his career. But the good news is, I'm convinced that he can play better, and I'm convinced that we can do some things better all the way around. And so we're all in.
All in.
So that's what
that tells me nothing.
That's
what does that
Jerry's
tell you,
definition of going all in. So he's basically just saying
Dak can play better, And we can win.
And not just that, but his other comments are basically exactly what Steven said, which is like, oh, well, of course we're all in the same way we're all in every year, but it kind of depends on the cap, and it kind of depends on these guys' contracts, and it kind of depends on this.
So we're basically not all in. Again, and it's another buzzword lie. That's all.
And especially considering all the word around the street that we're not like, it's not like we're heavily looking at free agents in place of guys that we're not drafting or something.
There's a couple of like reports of like Derrick Henry is one of the team, like he's been contacted by the Cowboys. That's not true. It's fake news, guys. So just remember, Cowboys are not really looking and talking to anybody but our own guys right now. Michael Gallup, who's probably they're trying to see how they can cut ties, and then they're looking at Tyron Smith and Tyler Biotish, and then they'll eventually make a deal with CD, Micah, and Dak Prescott. Anyways,
so. Anyway, Jerry Jones obviously kind of continuing on as far as his thought process on the whole, like, all in thing. He said, your definition of what is all in and mine might not be the same thing, but I'm trying to win the games this year with my decision. So I'm all in to this year.
Oh, boy. There it is. So we're not really all in. It's just Jerry feels he's all in with his decisions. So that means we're all in, guys.
Oh,
there it is.
Man. A man's version of all in is sometimes very different.
Well, ask that paternity situation he's going. He went all in there. Listen, we're not all in, guys. It's just not going to be an all in season. It's just going to be another Jerry Jones season.
We're going to be asking all season, is it in yet? Jones, and Jerry said later on, I've drafted quarterbacks for the future, okay? I'd be reluctant to do that this year. That's an example. Use our first pick for quarterback this year for the future if we had an opportunity there. You're at 24, and the greatest thing since ice cream, he's sitting there. I'd be reluctant to do that this year, and that's called an all-in this year.
So he believes, basically an example is, we're not drafting a quarterback in the first round. That's why we're not.
Well, I think I interpret that slightly differently.
Right, how do you interpret
it? Not to say that it's any better, but just in Jerry's defense. So by him trying to say that he's drafted quarterbacks for the future, like we've intentionally gone for quarterbacks, it didn't quite work out. It wouldn't make sense for us to say, hey, we're having an all-in year, but let's go use our pick on a quarterback. Doesn't matter how much you like him. Doesn't matter like how much you like the guy that's there. Like it would not be an all-in year if you're drafting a quarterback that high, because obviously that means that you're not really believing in your quarterback. You're not really putting everything behind your quarterback in your offense.
Yeah, I hear
that's
you.
That's kind of, again, now I'm not saying it's good, and I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm just saying that this is one of the few Jerryisms. I'm like, okay, I kind of maybe see what
it's bullshit. I disagree. You know why?
Okay.
It's bullshit from Jerry Jones, because before the season ended, he knew he was going to re-sign Dak Prescott. And before the season ended, he knew he was not going to go with a quarterback in the first round for the future. That's the dumbest shit from Jerry. Sorry, I don't agree with Jerry. And not only that, we just got Trey Lance for the 4th round pick. That's our quarterback we drafted. So Jerry is just playing you guys. I'm telling you, Dak was already in the plans going forward. We were never going to draft a quarterback in the first round this upcoming year. Case closed. That's it. So him saying that it means nothing. It means, okay, so it's the same thing as it was before this year and last year and the year before that. It's still not all in. This means nothing about all in. Nothing. To me. It's just bullshit from Jerry. Anyways, there's his beginnings of Dak discussions.
Mm-hmm. And, adding in there as far as more all-in commentary, right? He said we will be working on different players and drafting different people. And just the very nature...
Yeah, every year you do that.
Just the very nature of it is different. Different people, and we have different coaches. I think the attention that our nuances of where we are with the cap, nuances of where we are with our position in the draft and where we are at free agents, we get that involved with the definition of being all in. When you look at these aspects, we'll be looking at every solution towards winning this year.
Thanks, Jerry. So his all in is, you know what? Let's try to win this year. What the fuck is he talking about? The hell is he talking about? This drunken old man. Anyways, keep
sorry
it rolling.
guys, I was taking a little sip of water there.
No, I was saying, just Jerry Jones makes me infuriated.
Well,
continuing.
He added in there, and remember guys, part of the whole all-in aspect, let's be real, it's all tied directly to Dak. A lot of this is like extremely Dak adjacent. And Jerry said, because everyone's saying is the boogeyman in the room Dak Prescott's upcoming contract extension? Jerry said, no, I don't fear that. Well, because I have got my mind being better than we were last year. And that's where the focus would be. Every player you've got has some time when his contract is up. You'd walk around with the shakes if you feared it. You can't, because they all come up and they all can get hurt. They all can lose some talent. So all of that is not fear. I know you're asking for a reaction to that. It is my job to, when somebody gets hurt or when their career is at an end or where you don't get things negotiated, it's my job to do something else. So he's just kind of saying, like, no, it's not scary, because at some point or another, every player gets to the end of their contract and you have to figure it out. Well, it just kind of is what it is.
Some of the Cowboy fans are scared because they don't like Dak. So they're scared.
Wow.
But anyway, I know what he's saying.
They're scared for different reasons.
There's no reason.
Jerry said he's not scared. So.
Yeah, and again, remember, I told you how we can technically wait till this point next year to sign Dak to the same long-term contract and not hit the cap next year. But that's not going all in this year. That's going all in next year, it feels like, right? So
yeah.
I don't know. I still think he gets signed this year on the extension. That's still the prediction from the front office, but we also know that there's also rumblings that it's not guaranteed he's going to get an extension this offseason. We'll see. I think he will.
And again, kind of rolling it back a little bit. Hate to do it, but have to. But Steven wouldn't confirm earlier this week if we had even talked to Dak's representation, if we were working towards that. But then Jerry straight up confirmed it, right? Saying, we'll be working on his contract as we get into the future days of this coming year. What we do there, don't do, I couldn't say at this time. The main thing is that he's going to be our quarterback. I've got my mind all in on what we can do this year to be as successful as it can be. And one of the reasons I feel good about it is because Dak is for sure our quarterback.
All in. I love it. He keeps doing it.
Exactly. So adding in there, we don't need to, but if we can, if everybody wants to solve it, you can get in and get on the same page and see if you can come to an agreement. If you can, what we have in place works. And so obviously, if you do it one way, you'll be working through some of the other areas of the team in a different way. But you can't really plan all that until you see when you're there. So, and he was asked, can you even be all in without extending Dak Prescott? Like, isn't that kind of hand in hand? And Jerry said, absolutely you can be all in without having to extend him. He said you just have to adjust where you're going and how you're going all in. So, obviously, some people kind of hear that and go, oh, hold up, wait a fucking minute. Dak's going to cost us everything. We won't be able to do anything. Like I said, Jerry said that he doesn't fear not being able to acquire that type of talent or, again, Dak's possibility, like the chance of Dak being signed here long term. So, and he has been, very nice to Dak Prescott, right? Showering him with praise, compliments. So it's not like they're out here shit talking Dak in these streets either to try to lower his price or play cute. So I do have to respect the Joneses for that at least. And some of the reasoning, Jerry said it. He had one of the best years, as you all know. But the thing that I would point out is we all think that had a lot to do with the fact that Mike McCarthy's right there involved in Dak's play. More directly involved in the offense than we think that's there, and it's a lot more to come.
So he's crediting Mike McCarthy a lot in this.
Yeah, he's saying, so we'll see. We're going to be working on his contract as we get into the future. What we do there or don't do, I couldn't say at this time. But the main thing is he's going to be our quarterback. And the whole point is that he also said, the whole extension for them, it's not like there's a timeline oh, you have to get it done by this or that, or you have to say, no, you don't need to know. We can go another way right now. But we really want to sit down and discuss it and see how we'll go.
So it's just going to happen not any quicker than it should, although we do know that March 17th is a kind of a pseudo deadline for the Cowboys to either at least restructure his contract, but that's when some money gets pushed around. The Cowboys have to make a little decision. I think before March 17th. That's just me. We'll see what Jerry and Steven want to do about Dak Prescott going forward.
Exactly. So adding in there, by the way, because I know we touched on most of his points as far as Dak's contract. But he said it. We're going to do everything we can do to have this team be as successful as it can be this year. The nuances of where we are with the cap and our position in the draft and our free agents. And we get that involved is the definition of being all in. An aggressive approach to the draft, trading up with a lot of picks or trading down with a lot of picks, will have in mind the team that's going on the field this year. And again, he's basically just saying that whole thing, that all relates back to what we end up doing with Dak. So, he already said it.
We
have to figure that out first before we decide what else we're going to do. So, anyway, of course, that's pretty much all the, Dak-specific talk from Jerry. But as we're talking about our QB1, that naturally kind of leaves you thinking about our QB2. And
who
Jerry,
is the backup? We had Trey Lance situation, right? And we know that we picked up his roster bonus, which is like $4 million, which is like, he was at $1 million hit right now. Now he's at 5.5, right? So 5.3. So that means he's on this team this year. We're not trading him. He's not getting cut. Trey Lance is here. Cooper Rush, is he getting cut? He's got experience. The Cowboy staff likes him. McCarthy likes him. He's reliable enough. So what's the deal going on behind Dak Prescott?
So, like I said, Jerry confirmed that we, picked up the fourth-year roster bonus. Had nothing but praise for him, saying, arrow is really up, as in, Trey Lance's arrow. He exceeded expectations as a person, as a worker, as a character. He's got unique skills. He's very much what we had planned on and hoped. When we gave the fourth-round pick, we knew we'd be paying the fourth-year bonus right now. That was a part of the same decision.
Right.
That's been reinforced with what he's been for the team and the person that he is and potentially the player.
But we also know, and I don't know if you touched on this, but we also know that fifth-year deal ain't coming. When we heard this from the inside sources of the Cowboys, front office people, whatever the sources at the Star, he didn't get that fifth-year $22+ million option. That's something we could figure out after this year and sign him for a lot less if we want to keep him as a backup. So, it makes sense getting him for this year. That's what they made the trade for, knowing he's going to be here for a full 2 years. And being groomed to be the backup to Dak Prescott. So, anyways.
Yeah.
So, about Cooper Rush, anything on him? I'm just curious. Is it only about Trey Lance?
Again, Trey Lance is actually set to compete with Cooper Rush.
There you go.
So that's kind of a interesting twist
this
in the sense of we kind of assumed that Cooper Rush was just kind of getting the boot and that Trey Lance would just automatically have the job, but not so. Jerry Jones saying he's very much what he planned on and hoped when we gave the pick as far as Trey Lance, but not being very shy as far as the responsibility that he's going to have when as far as kind of earning it a little bit.
That tells me that, we got Trey Lance, and he's going up. He's got trajectories up. The arrow is up. But it means that if he has to battle Cooper Rush for the backup spot, we're not letting Cooper Rush go. That means Cooper Rush is here. We're not going to save the $2.5 million by cutting him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's that's a tell right there. At least we know Cooper Rush is making it to training camp. We'll see about saving the money later if we got to cut him and Trey Lance is doing whatever good enough and let's say we cut Cooper Rush. We might save a little bit of money then, but that's not going to be really used for a free agent, to that free agent spending. That's more rollover money. So that's kind of the way I kind of see that. But yeah, it's, I don't know. I want to see how this plays out. I really hope Trey Lance can upgrade the backup quarterback position. That's all. Cooper Rush is all right.
I don't blame you.
But but Trey Lance to me has a higher ceiling, much higher ceiling. We just got to see it, And hopefully this year we'll see it in preseason. We'll see it, we'll see him really battle for Cooper Rush for that second spot, and hopefully he takes that second spot. That's the hope, I think Jerry hopes it. He traded a fourth-round pick for him, so. And all Cowboy fans are hoping it. Some of them because they hate Dak, which is stupid for that reason. But some of I want to see because I want to improve our team. I don't give a good goddamn how we improve it or who gets their feathers ruffled. Backup quarterback getting better there, getting someone better than Cooper Rush. If Trey Lance can do that, I'm all in on that. That's all in for me. That's me saying I'm all in on that kind of hope, I guess.
I mean, like I said, just the fact that we're going to have a bit of a battle there instead of just previously assumed anointing. I'm all about that, at least. I'll never complain. So some healthy competition is always good. So, and moving on as far as the quarterback side of things, Tony Pollard was brought up and mentioned and asked about as far as Jerry Jones, bringing him back. What's your thoughts? How are you feeling? Jerry said, I think Pollard played well. He's someone that I would have thought would have had more impact for us in the games that we didn't play well in. But that running game, of course, a product of not only the back, but the blocking and the complete offense. When I look at him, I have done that with our coaches, and I've done that with our scouts. He played well. So it's not like it's some kind of like weird, like, oh my God, Jerry Jones, freak out moment or something. I mean, he's been around the block or two, right? Oh, so
interesting.
Anyway, I just thought that was kind of curious, especially. So, but speaking of,
I want to hear about that in a minute. I want to actually revisit, but first we had a drop of the man, Big B-Bird.
True.
B-Bird in the house, dropping that 5 on it.
Thank you so much, B-Bird.
What did B-Bird say?
Appreciate you. Much love. He said, has a quarterback that was second in the MVP voting ever had trouble with the contract?
Isn't that something?
Only in Dallas.
That's
14 years of Pro Bowl quarterback play, but no NFC championship game. The culture is the issue. And guys,
I agree.
I know Jerry does touch on the culture at some point.
At the finale here, I think of the finale of the discussion tonight.
So
he will touch on that, but I agree with B-Bird on this. Look, Jerry don't think there's an issue with the culture. There's an obvious issue with the culture in Dallas. And he said if there is an issue, it's a big problem. Well, I guess he said it himself. Much love to you, B-Bird. Appreciate you. He jumps. Oh, wait, he's got a 5 on it. So let me move him up this board here. He is, I think, tied for 16th on the board. Much love to B-Bird.
So, again, thank you, B-Bird. But yeah, only
in Dallas is not an issue,
only
right?
In Dallas.
Your quarterback is, MVP name, second MVP, and still half the fan base hates the guy. It's insane. It's a bigger thing than Dak.
Jared Jones said, cut Cooper Rush. Are you crazy? I always keep players and coaches with red hair around.
And that was not a quote from the real Jerry Jones. That was from our Jerry Jones.
So, anyway, kind of rolling it back, like I was saying, Tony Pollard, guys. Obviously, he's one of those guys that, free agency is probably not going to be as kind to as maybe he would like. One thing that seems pretty clear, the Cowboys are apparently moving on, right?
It seems like that to me, yeah. And Jerry's comments, I mean, I know you just read them.
Yeah, no, about Pollard playing well.
Yeah, Pollard playing well, and, that's great, but that usually means it's sayonara to these guys,
So, and one of the important things that he brought up was obviously, just run game, run stops in general.
Yeah,
one of the reasons that we need, to change some of our philosophies maybe on the types of guys that we bring in. Jerry kind of straight up says it, though. We are going to be looking for bigger bodies on defense.
Yeah, on defense. Did we hear anything from Michael Gallup at all?
I'm getting.
Oh, okay. I know you went to defense. I thought we were staying on offense. That's why I got confused.
Okay, sorry. No, I think that was a mistake by me as far as the order of things. So,
all right, bigger guys on defense, on the defensive front.
It's all right. No, we can just save the defensive front guys for a little bit
here. Finish up offense here if we can.
That's fine. Yeah. So with Michael Gallup, of course, just talked about Tony Pollard. Seems like Michael Gallup is in a similar boat where Jerry's just kind of like, thanks for your services, peace out.
I mean, remember that Tony Pollard, he's at the end of his contract. He had a 1-year deal, but Michael Gallup, he's still under contract, so we'd have to release him, cut him, and we'd get like $9.5 million back as a post June 1st cut.
Yeah.
But
now, Jerry's here was a little bit nicer in the sense of,
we just spoke with him, right? We just spoke with his agent.
He said, we don't have a decision that we'd like to talk about right now. It's one we'll be going over with him, but nothing we would say independently without him being involved. We need to sit down and go over this stuff with him before we can talk about what we're going to do. So, yeah, definitely sounds like a post-June 1st cut to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's a guarantee from when Jerry says that's a guarantee.
But they respect him enough to obviously not let him find out by some random shit in the media. They are going to sit down with him and tell him. So, yeah, I guess there you go. There's that. In better news,
just sounds like Gallup and Pollard are galloping out of Dallas. It sounds like it's happening.
Yeah, but like I said, in better news, Tyron Smith, right? Jerry said that they are very interested in trying to obviously attempt to bring him back for another year, saying we'll get in there in the right way and discuss his business and work out something that's good for both of us. He's had a great career. He's a Hall of Fame player, and not only that, his personal life is one of the great stories that I've been a part of with players or coaches or anybody, commissioners or anybody in the NFL. So where I'm going with this is to certainly get something that would have him on the field. So
that means he's staying.
Yes, it seems like Jerry is going to do his best to keep Tyron Smith in the building.
Team.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say before we're on defense, I just wanted to go back for something real quick on Gallup.
I still had more on offense, but yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say about Gallup for just 1 second. I was going to interrupt, and now I have to interrupt another part because I didn't interrupt before.
Interrupt.
Gallup, if he's still on the roster on March 17th, which is a magic day, again, for Dak's contract in some ways and for Gallup's contract. Gallup on March 17th, guys, $4 million, it jumps up to wherever it's at now, a minimal hit for the cap. And it goes $4 million of his $8.5 million salary will become fully guaranteed. Now we have to. Now it's going to be a bigger issue, losing more money if we release Gallup after or on, I guess, anytime on or after March 17th. So we got to make the move on Gallup. He's going to be cut in another week or two, in my opinion. Or let's say after his contract. Well, I guess it doesn't expire. We have to release him in some way. I think the Cowboys are trying to find a trade partner or someone. No one's going to trade for him. So Cowboys got to release him.
That's going to be a tricky one.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, but we're not going to keep him past March 17th. That I can almost guarantee you. Sorry. All right, baby. You were talking about Tyron Smith staying on the team. It sounds like they really want him back, and they like the practice plan they got in play for Tyron Smith going forward in the future, right? So
as far as moving in the future and offense, right? You don't have that without CeeDee Lamb. Of course, he's on the final year of his contract currently.
Get a deal.
Jerry said, our goal is to extend CeeDee, and we plan on doing that. And then the detail of that is not something to discuss that way, because just the way people do business with their own people's business. But the point is, we do want to extend CeeDee.
Yeah, and we know that. We see this, we hear this, so get to this. They're not talking to any of his agent yet about this. It's whatever. I don't know. They sit on the ball too long, these guys, and then we end up paying more. But we also know CeeDee Lamb is probably not taking a deal right now. Why? He wants to see what Justin Jefferson's getting paid, and he's going to get a little bit more than that. Because if he gets the deal first, CeeDee Lamb, then Justin Jefferson's going to get paid a little bit more than him. Okay. So that's what they're kind of waiting each other out for. I don't think this is on the Cowboys. This is, I think, more on CeeDee Lamb wanting to wait and see what Justin Jefferson gets.
Okay. So, obviously, let me just extra double check. Yes. So now officially that's it as far as the offense.
No, we got
now
Zimmer
we
here.
can go ahead and talk about the big bodies on defense.
Yeah, because that's the thing I want to just say with the new coach on defense, and that's, of course, Mike Zimmer. How does he want to... We heard from Will McClay yesterday kind of give his rundown on what working with Zimmer is going to be like and how he's kind of getting into the kind of player he likes, the kind of guys they want. We already know on defense, we are highly motivated at linebacker and a defensive tackle. With 12 guys total we are serious about, at least currently in this stage of things for the draft. And then only 4 guys as cornerbacks or safeties and no guys at edge as of this moment. So to me, Zimmer's like, let's focus on the inside. And maybe a little bit on corner. But let's focus on linebacker and defensive tackle. That's all. Now what is Jerry saying, baby, about the big guys in the middle? Because I think that's a Zimmer thing.
It is Zimmer adjacent, right? He said, we got thin at linebacker and we probably tried to. Because of our availability of an alternative, we got read pretty good by the opponent, and they did a good job on us with the run game. An assessment of what happened to us gives you the answers. You need to not get you need to not get as thin at linebacker. And what you need to be emphasizing with the linebackers is helping to stop the run. So, hey, I guess some lessons are better learned the hard way.
Linebackers are needed, but you need to get a defensive tackle that can not allow the offensive lineman to go block your linebackers. And that's the thing that we've been missing for a while. So that comes out of the big guys. That's a linebacker, not the big guys. So
yeah. So anyway, kind of rolling from there too. Speaking on the whole, defense and Zimmer stuff. Jerry said that one of the reasons that he really likes Zimmer is just how obsessed he is with the sport of football, saying his whole life is football. The people that know Mike Zimmer and the players that know him, Dion, guys like that, you name them, Pac-Man Jones, all the guys, they left us and went with him to Cincinnati. That tells you well enough. He's there, but he's no bullshit. Boy, he's straight talking. It's not with anybody. It's not out of character doing that at all.
Just sounds like, he's a hard ass.
Yeah, and he's not afraid to let you know, which I think is a little dose of reality this team has been missing, right? Jerry said it. I think we all need it. I think everybody needs some of that.
So a good kick in the
even
ass,
Jerry admits that this team might need the kind of lack of coddling that Zimmer brings to the table.
That's a good thing, I guess. I mean, at least a different thing. So,
I mean, I certainly think so. And of course, the final thing that we have to say here on Jerry Jones, the culture. Guys, we have to talk about the culture here in Dallas. We've talked about it lots of times.
Well, it's an issue. It's an issue. What does Jerry think?
Yeah, Jerry obviously agrees with Steven. Steven said earlier in the week that we don't have a culture problem or whatever. Jerry also said that he doesn't think we have a culture problem, and saying that our players are not at all entitled. So people, the reporters obviously asked after that, so you're saying that entitlement isn't a problem? Just obviously the unspoken, here in Dallas. Jerry said, many deserve to feel good about themselves and feel good about the plays that they have contributed to the team. Those happen to be the very same players that get down on themselves more than anybody when they don't play well. That is not a problem on this team at all. We don't have anybody pointing over there at somebody else and not pointing at their own mirror. I guess that could be defined as culture, but I don't see that on this team at all. I think Mike McCarthy has done an outstanding job of having the right kind of atmosphere that can play wild and win games and win in the playoffs.
Well, thank you, Jerry, for the hyping speech there. But I think that some of the players are entitled. I think definitely the ownership's entitled. I think that because we are in Dallas, hey, you had the Star and, the front office, they work towards, convincing players to come play and take lesser deals. That's arrogance. That's ego. That's overvaluing your little, confidence over here, Jerry. And I think that this is I think he is a guy that, has an entitlement issue. Jerry Jones, of course, being rich and owner of the Cowboys, he definitely feels like he deserves. I mean, firing Jimmy Johnson, that tells you he's very entitled.
Yeah, like I said, them admitting to a culture problem would have to mean him admitting that
he's doing something wrong.
Messed up somewhere.
What do you think about that? I mean,
look, the fact that they're even addressing it already lets you know that, they obviously have the culture on their mind, right? They've obviously been asked about this enough that they felt it was necessary to even comment on. So, man, just unfortunate. I'll leave it at that. Just because, obviously, we have a little bit of a culture problem, and entitlement is absolutely an issue. And, obviously, I want to believe that someone like Zimmer can come in and kind of help turn things around and help us, lose a little bit of that mentality.
Yeah, but who's still running the show? And that's the clown show.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem. That's still the problem. And and Zimmer might help a little bit, but it ain't going to change completely. Culture is the culture, and it's set by this guy, Jerry Jones, who spoke today. And we gave you the full Monty on what he had to discuss on our Cowboys. Current, what happened in the past with the Packers, currently right now, draft-wise, free agent-wise, and what's going on for the future going forward with the Cowboys. So, there you go, baby. That's pretty much it here tonight on My Cowboys Family. And a big, important one, I think. A lot of important things that were said, although it is Jerry Jones, so the smoke is thick, if you know what I mean. But either way, guys, saying we're I guess is a wrap here for the weekend as we enter Saturday. We will probably not be live here. Now, after dark, MCF After Dark.
I guess you'll just have to stay tuned, huh?
Subscribe and make sure you put that notification bell on, because no videos, no live streams stay on there. But that's a whole different, it's not a Cowboy Talk channel. That's more of just a trash talk, fight, politics. There's a lot of stuff going on there, so it's not for everybody. But I know Jerry ain't ready for that. Right, Jerry? Gone. But we might be out there tonight, tomorrow. You never know. So make sure you subscribe. But we don't even give out the information. You guys got to just kind of find it. If you find it, you really want to find it, then that means you really want to kind of see what it's about. We're not going to push that. So it's a whole different thing. But we'll be there maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. Definitely we'll be back here on My Cowboys Family. At the very least, tomorrow if something big breaks, we'll be here. At the very least, we'll be back Friday to wrap up the week. Go through all the information from the weekend and wrap it up on Sunday night. The week in review, but no, it's the weekend in review and the whole week of champions right here. We're gonna make sure we crown some champions, some new, maybe some repeats here. It looks like currently still repeats across the board. I will say there is that jersey raffle, though, on Sunday night. And the only way you get into that, I mean, there's only one way you can. Well, right now, this is only one way you get into this raffle, guys. And it is being in the star level in the membership, or the over everything of our membership levels. There's 4 different levels: the navy, blue, silver, star, and over everything. If you're in the star and over everything, you have a chance to win a Sewn and Stitch jersey. Many different players to pick from, styles, sizes. If you like other teams, there's other teams available too, other sports available as well. So it's a monthly jersey raffle. Next month, like the sponsor of the week, we'll also have a raffle entry in this thing, as well as the membership, levels of these 2 here, star and over everything. So good luck to all. That'll be on Sunday, our finale wrap up. Not only we wrap up the week for the drops and champions, not only do we wrap up the weekend, but we're also going to wrap up the month of February with our monthly raffle for the star and over everything levels. Speaking of levels, we got Hannibal King 47 in the house, dropping that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on it.
Woo!
Much love, Hannibal. What did Hannibal have to say with that $5 holler?
I would literally trade this whole defensive line for draft picks just to field a defensive lineman that can never be run on, or even just my thoughts. So let me see. Let me rephrase that. I would literally literally trade this whole D line for draft picks just to field a defensive lineman that can never be run over, or that can never be run on or run over ever.
Right.
Just my thoughts.
Yeah, and again, that's something that's it's not as easy as it sounds, because not every pick or every player will finalize that for sure and be a run stopping, dominating defensive line. Sometimes players fall through, right? But we got a couple guys at the edges that do a good job, whether it's DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah's getting better. But we do need a better overall run stop scheme. And that's why that coach, Zigonina, defensive line coach, and then Paul Gunther, he's going to be the run game coordinator. These guys are going to help the linebackers and the defensive linemen help slow down and stop that run. So we got extra guys on coaching side of things to help stop the run this year. Hopefully that helps, and we get some guys in here that do that work. So, that's the hope, Hannibal.
No, I agree. By the way, Seabass said, I'll be the mascot. I'll be in that John Intent 8, Trigam 64 palms, motherfucker. Hit him with the left, the right. So, but yes, cracks me up. Rudy G Funk. That's
Rudy. He's the Browns
very
fan.
Funny. Ha ha.
We can ignore him. He's a Browns fan.
So, hey, trust me.
I'm messing with him.
Oh, you didn't have to say that twice. So, anyway, kind of rolling back here, Seabass said, I want a quarterback that calls himself Mr. February, like Bad Intentions said. Someone competing with Mahomes every year. Honestly, I'll just take someone who's competing in the postseason. Because, like, Jerry has made it abundantly clear, and we've said it here several times as well, winning in the regular season, not the problem. Not the problem.
We all know that. It's just Jerry got to know that the problem is still a culture issue, it seems. Going into, 30 years now, right, of this disaster. 29 years of this disaster from the Joneses. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, with that said, baby, I mean, at least on my side of things, that's all I have.
You have shout-outs and
I mean, not yet, obviously, but I'll remind everybody, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell. You guys can follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. Of course, hop in the Discord, link for that in the description box down below, and an extra special shout out.
You see him right there at the bottom of the screen. The sponsor of the week.
That's right. Back to back.
2 weeks in a row. As well as, you see it reading it down there, the Cash App King for 3 weeks. Much love. To McLovin. Rocking the top spot on both those boards for 2 and 3 weeks in a row. And he's going for more. 4 in a row right now. He's in the lead for the Cash App side. And he's also going for that three-peat in the sponsor of the week side. In the lead on the overall board, in the lead on the Cash App board. Much love to McLovin. Then you got Jason Renfro taking over from the top dog, Dwayne Broussard, as the stream boss. He has 90 points on the stream boss. And then when it comes to the membership gifting crown, the champion is the man, Skeptical Fan. Always staying skeptical. Appreciate him, who took it over with a big 2-week gridlock. He took it over a couple nights ago. And he also has the lead currently going forward. It's only 4-2, though. 4 gifted memberships for Skeptical Fan and 2 which I think dropped tonight from Jason Renfro. So he's halfway there. Jason Renfro is maybe trying to get that crown himself as well. We'll see what happens as the week goes on. I appreciate McLovin, Jason Renfro, Skeptical Fan, and everybody who dropped the love from above. You know, I'll say after dark, pre-stream and in-stream. So much love to Sco97, Deadfool, Smokey, Jason Renfro, A. Lavelle, Gerald Swain, even you, baby, in the membership side, Dwayne Broussard, Hannibal King, Scorpio, Dustin Roberts, Eastside Harold, Calvin Richard, and B. Bird. Appreciate everybody in the house. We had the second biggest drop of the year, Mr. A. Lavelle. Just wanted to say his name again. Silver level, shining. You got 5. We want 6 and beyond here on MCF. So, guys, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell, all that good stuff. Let's hit the shout-outs now to everybody in the house tonight.
Of course. Oh, Seabass, you know it. Much love. Definitely some fun after dark, right? Jason Renfro, thanks for being here.
It gets crazy.
Rudy G. Funk, yeah.
Definitely not for everyone. Let's just say that.
Leaside Harold, thanks for hanging with us. Bad Intentions, much love. Hannibal King 47, of course, showing the love here. Thanks for rolling with us. Chalk to Montana 808. Take it easy, man. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Let me see. I will shout it out. Nightbot. Juan Carlos, much love to you. Dustin Roberts, take it easy. Gramawani in the house. Jira Jones, of course.
Sure.
B Bird, much love. JP in the place to be.
Did you say Jera?
Jera.
It's Jera. Jera Jones. But by the way, you know, I do want to shout out our Over Everything level member who will be on here 2 times in March. That's Seabass. Kicking ass. Can't wait to hear what he feels about the Cowboys like after the season. That's what we're going to hear very soon. Probably maybe Sunday, maybe some time early next week. And then, of course, when we hear from him again later in the month, it's going to be kind of like when that free agency, you know, after free agency hits and we see what happens. Can't wait to hear what Seabass is going to bring to the table and his thoughts on our Cowboys live right here on 2 nights during our news segments for the whole night as an Over Everything level member. Appreciate you, Seabass.
So, let me see. We have Jera Jones. Let me see. Just trying to make sure I don't miss any shout out. Kelvin Hicks, Thomas Garrett. As far back as I can go. Come back down. It looks like I made all the shout outs there. So, guys, again, thank you so much for hanging with us. And there is a specific reason we're doing what we're doing here on the MCF side of things.
Tell us why. Tell us what it is.
It is because of that navy blue.
Hell yeah.
That silver, too.
Hell yeah.
And that star over everything.
Hell, you know it here. On MCF. Win, lose, or draw. Good, bad, or ugly. Here on this channel, we always rep that star over everything. On MCF, My Cowboys Family. For over 6.5 years, almost 7 years on this YouTube channel. Never forget the number one thing here, now, and forever. As always, go Cowboys! And yes, let's get that 6 and beyond. Thank you all for dropping your knowledge in the chat all night long. All night. Not sure if we're doing the After Dark tonight, but definitely tomorrow is a good chance it happens, even though we're not going to be live here tomorrow night on My Cowboys Family, unless there's crazy-ass news that goes down. So, on that note, though, guys, your drops of knowledge keeps us the discussion going over and over again, the discussion about our Cowboys. And that's what we appreciate here in MCF. Also, truly cannot say enough about the people who drop the love and support from above here, whether it's through the Cash App, PayPal, Super Chat, gifting, all the different ways, the thanks button, all of that.
That's right.
Appreciate you guys. Cannot do this without you all. So on that note, as we clock out and drop out for the night, and relock and reload for some After Dark fun. And, of course, Sunday's wrap-up show here. And the raffle for the Star and Over Everything level memberships. As we get ready to get on out of here, before we can drop out for the night, baby, tell them what we got to do before we get on out of here and drop on out of here.
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. That beat's officially dropped, and guys, thanks for dropping in here with us for another discussion on our Dallas Cowboys. On the nightly, the news, info, and updates. You know how we do this. Guys, thank you once again as we wrap up another MCF Cowboys chat. Hell yeah. Jerry spoke. Heard about the the Gallup update, the Dak update, the Tyron update, a lot of other updates, injury updates from Jerry's mind, and the all-in, the culture, and on and on. Yeah, we heard it all. We know it. We know what he's going to say. We know what he's always saying. We'll see what displays in his quote-unquote all-in. We know what he gave us the answer. He's not going to do an all-in. He's doing a Jerry Jones all-in, which is exactly opposite of that. Here in MCF, we don't stop. It's about that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything. Never, ever, ever forget the number one thing right here on my Cowboys family. Much love to everyone in the house for joining us, whether you are a friend or a foe, right? Enemy or not, don't matter. Thank you. A hater, that's fine. We appreciate you guys being here. Just don't forget to hit that like button for the stream. Hit subscribe to the channel and keep it growing. Hit the notification bell and move it to all videos so you know we're going live on the nightly. Of course, we got that Twitter, X, whatever, social media at MyCowboysFamily so you know we're going live as well in case YouTube ain't giving you the notifications. Either way, we'll be here Sunday to wrap it up. Thank you all for chatting it up with us tonight. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. Much love to all. Peace. And never, ever, ever, never, ever forget your Cowboys! Woo!
Monk on the beat. Monk on the beat.